Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a tool that is literally reshaping how professionals handle deep research and complex workflows behind the scenes. If you've been looking to really optimize your existing AI stack and finally push past that basic level of prompting, well, you are in exactly the right place.
So let's just jump right in with a pretty serious question. Are you only using ChatGPT? Be honest. Because if the answer is yes, by the end of this analysis, your entire workflow is going to completely shift. Look, a lot of us got super comfortable with the first major player in the space, which is totally natural. But sticking to just one single ecosystem, it's actually holding back your true productivity.
Get this. Here is a staggering statistic for you. 99% of people are using AI incorrectly, or, at the very least, they aren't matching the right tool to the right job. Most users treat all language models like they're just basic search engines, completely missing out on specialized architectures. They're missing out on a ridiculously powerful alternative that is specifically designed to absolutely dominate when it comes to intricate coding, nuanced writing, and understanding massive, lengthy documents. And that tool is Claude AI.
All right, here is our quick agenda for today. Number 1, what is Claude AI? 2, setting up an account. 3, the right way to prompt. And 4, Claude versus ChatGPT.
Okay, let's dive into section 1. What is Claude AI? Unlocking the power of Anthropic.
So Claude AI isn't just another generic chatbot you play around with. It was built by a company called Anthropic, and its true superpower lies in its massive context window. When we talk about advanced AI assistants today, the whole game is really about how much information the model can hold in its working memory at any one given time. And this gives Claude the very unique ability to digest incredibly lengthy PDFs. We're talking 100-page research papers, dense legal contracts, or extensive financial reports without losing the plot. While other models tend to struggle or hallucinate or simply just forget the beginning of your document by the time they finally reach the end, Claude maintains this remarkable level of coherence and accuracy across massive datasets.
Picture this. Imagine feeding an entire semester's worth of textbook chapters right into a single chat window. Or, say, dropping in 5 different technical briefs from a client and having the model synthesize all of it perfectly in seconds. For students, for freelancers, and content creators dealing with heavy research, this isn't just a nice little convenience. It fundamentally changes the speed at which you can process information. It literally takes those hours of tedious reading, highlighting, and summarizing, and instantly turns them into actionable insights. It is, without a doubt, the ultimate time saver. Moving right along to section 2, setting up an account from zero to ready. Luckily, getting into the Anthropic ecosystem is completely frictionless. You just open up your browser, search for Claude AI, hit sign up on the official site, link your Google account, or just use an email, and then complete a quick verification. Seriously, it takes less than 60 seconds to unlock free access. Once you're in, you are greeted with a super clean, distraction-free interface that gets you straight to the prompt box, so you are immediately ready to start handling your complex workflows. Let's get into section 3, the right way to prompt. Stop making this mistake. Now, the absolute biggest mistake most people make is using weak, zero-context prompts, like simply typing explain AI. When you do this, you're basically forcing the model to guess your intent, your knowledge level, and the format you actually want. Instead, you've got to assign a role and set strict constraints. So tell Claude something like, you are an experienced teacher, explain artificial intelligence in simple terms with real-life examples. Assigning an identity, like an experienced teacher, fundamentally changes the architecture of the response you're going to get. It activates specific latent spaces within the model's training data, forcing it to filter its vast knowledge through the lens of pedagogy. And those constraints, simple terms and real-life examples, they act as guardrails. They ensure the output is highly structured and immediately useful without you having to do a dozen follow-up corrections. To make this super easy, here are 5 highly actionable constraints you can literally start using today. First up, ask it to summarize a PDF into easy notes. Because of that massive context window we talked about earlier, Claude executes this flawlessly. Second, use the explain this topic like I'm 12 years old framework. This is just a brilliant way to bypass dense academic jargon and get straight to the core principles of a difficult concept. Third, asking for 20 multiple choice questions from a specific chapter, that creates an instant customized testing environment. Fourth, having it correct your English and explain every mistake turns a basic grammar check into your own personalized linguistics lesson.
And finally, the act as my personal tutor and teach me step-by-step prompt is perhaps the most powerful one here. It forces the model to use chain of thought processing, pacing the information out so you actually learn the material, rather than it just handing you the final answer. Integrating these exact phrases will drastically reduce the friction in your daily research. Which brings us to our final part, section 4, Claude versus ChatGPT, choosing the right tool.
The most common debate in the AI community right now is, of course, which tool is actually superior. But when you really look at their core capabilities, it becomes super clear that they serve very different functions. ChatGPT is absolutely fantastic for creative writing, dynamic brainstorming, and handling a wide variety of general day-to-day tasks. Its architecture just often feels a bit more conversational and expansive. But when we look at Claude AI, its true strength is in rigorous structure. For long documents, highly detailed technical writing, and deep, thorough analysis, where logical consistency is absolutely paramount, Claude consistently outperforms. It rarely loses track of the overarching narrative, which makes it the superior choice when accuracy and deep comprehension at provided text are your main priorities. So ultimately, there is no single winner here. There is only the right tool for your specific workflow. The most productive professionals out there right now aren't choosing one over the other. They're actually building a multi-model ecosystem. Use ChatGPT as your creative sparring partner, to generate ideas and draft your emails. But when it's time to do the really heavy analytical lifting with massive data sets, or synthesize 50-page reports, or write highly nuanced code, Claude AI is your undisputed champion. If this breakdown helped you optimize your AI workflow today, do us a quick favor and hit that like button. And make sure to subscribe to AI Simplified Pro for even more structured insights. We've optimized how you read, write, and analyze today, but I want to know, what's the next bottleneck in your workflow? Drop a comment below with the AI tool you want us to analyze in our next explainer. Until next time, stay curious and keep building.